It was so painful. Even the time of gathering, of the time of burial, whatever, those meetings, they could not give me food.
Cette femme a affronté une quantité extraordinaire d'adversités. Sa vie, depuis son enfance, a été dominée par des difficultés et la persécution de sa mère, ce qui a abouti à son mariage à un jeune âge. Son mari a ensuite contracté le sida et ils ont dû rester ensemble comme si rien ne s'était passé.
It was so painful to open up to a man. You know the man is positive, you are negative, and you have to serve him. You have to give him his purpose as a woman. It was so painful to me. It wounded me so much.
Cela peut sembler normal, mais si vous écoutez son histoire complète, je vous promets que votre cœur sera touché. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes au Kenya. C'était un long voyage, mais nous y sommes enfin parvenus. Cette mère nous accueille chaleureusement et dit qu'elle ne reçoit pas souvent de visiteurs. Nous voir lui a fait plaisir et a illuminé sa journée. Elle a affronté des défis qui briseraient la plupart des gens, mais son histoire est celle de la survie, du courage et de la foi inébranlable face à des circonstances inimaginables.
Moirore is my dad who brought me up. I was born in Nyeri, Rogoro, Irori location by a man called James Morigo, and that man rejected me because I was born being a girl, and we were born 3 girls. So through that rejection, my mother went and she started struggling, and while she was still struggling, she got a man called Moirore, and she was married. So the man was so good, he brought me up until he died 2017.
Lydia n'a pas eu une vie heureuse comme les autres jeunes enfants. Elle n'a pas connu le bonheur de ses parents et son éducation n'était pas possible en raison de l'intimidation de ses parents et de leur vie très difficile.
Okay, my mother used to treat me very badly, although she loved me. Now the rejection she had of the husband, she used to see I'm the one who caused now the situation to be like that. She used to beat me, she used to abuse me, and the schools I went, we were supposed to be in 7 schools from class 1 to class 7, and I went for 6 schools. So I didn't have a background of education because of that rejection. And when I went to secondary, well, I was just only now catching up. Then I was transferred. The reason I was transferred, it is because men are greeting me, men are looking after me, and I was still a girl and I was still a virgin. But my mother could not understand me.
So you are that beautiful when you are young, and so that leader.
Very beautiful men.
Tell us about it.
Very beautiful.
Nous connaissons tous la signification merveilleuse du mot « mère » pour un enfant qui était une petite fille à l'époque, mais sa mère n'était pas du tout une bonne personne.
Very beautiful men used to come, now young men used to come to our place. And when they come, my mother could come and chase them, abuse them, just like that. And I would be beaten later. So when I was changed from now the government school, I went to private school. That's where I got a man called Geshoke, and that man loved me. And I got married. And when I got married, it was because of the abuse of my mother. And still, even if she used to abuse me, I was still a virgin.
Il y a des erreurs que les parents commettent envers leurs enfants et qui rendent leur vie pire pour toujours. Quand on entend qu'elle s'est mariée, on pourrait penser qu'il y a eu une cérémonie de mariage. Eh bien non.
I loved him normally, but I didn't have that love deep, the deep love. And he used that trick because he could not manage to catch me. So they decided there is a party And I was told, Gadoni, take me to a party. There is a party. And we came to a house like this one. It was for a man. And we were several girls and men. We entered that house at 11 a.m. When we entered the house, we met. Food are ready. Everything is okay. And I asked them, when did you cook? And they have already taken food. They told me, we are waiting for you now to eat. You can continue eating. They have put food here. One girl took utensils to go and wash. The other one took soap to take to the other one. The other one said, they have forgotten this they took. And the man said, the two men, one said, let me go and take cigarette. The other one said, oh, and this man has stayed a lot, now the owner of the house, has stayed outside just like that. Let me go and check. Now we were left with the two of us. When the man walked out, they closed the door outside.
The last man.
The last man. That's how I was left in the house, and that's how I got my first son, because I conceived immediately.
La pire et la plus surprenante chose qui s'est produite, c'est qu'elle est tombée enceinte alors que sa mère pensait qu'elle était à l'école où elle avait été transférée. Il n'y avait rien d'autre à faire pour Lydia que de mener un combat auquel tout le monde ne pouvait pas se joindre.
But now when I got pregnant, there was no way. Now I just decided now to give in. When after that my mother decided now to chase me away from Embu, because I was transferred from Kaguduine, and then I was taken to Embu to stay with my elder sister. Then she said, you are Harold, come back home and stay at home. When I went at home, I was already pregnant. So one day I decided, I had even the keys of the man, because now I didn't have choice. Now, I decided to go to check for him whether he will accept this pregnant or he won't. When I went, I met they have gone a place called Kagaro to go. There was a football. They had taken student there. And I opened the door. I cooked. I was with my siblings, last born and second last. So that I may not be held by this man. When I went back home, I was beaten. To an extent, I had wounds. Even when I went to my husband, I had wounds in my shoulder, in my back, whatever. And when I went there, I didn't go with my bag. In fact, it was just only by that time there was no bags, because I went. It was 1982. I went and put bag under a tree. But Ebian, they are witches, so nobody could pick it. I left it there. I went to the house. I cooked for my dear, and when he came lunchtime, I said, I have come. He asked me, where are the clothes? I don't have clothes you will buy for me. He said, okay, but you know, we are not paid the salary. And I told him, I'll wear your trouser and your shirt. He said, it's okay, just feel at home. I said, oh, so the man has accepted. So I told him, let's go and pick my bag where I left.
Et c'est ici que sa vie a pris un tournant sombre. C'est le début de sa triste histoire.
And I got married now. And we continue with our life. We gave the firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn, fourthborn, fifthborn. And now at the time of fifthborn, he was very sick, and he was at Mombasa. God spoke to me. That time God used to speak to me through writing in the wall. And I was praying. He wrote HIV AIDS. And I asked God, what is this? And God spoke to me very clear that your husband is HIV positive. I started praying. I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know who I'll tell, because that time nobody could want to hear about HIV. That was 95. Nobody could hear about now HIV. And I decided now to keep quiet with my problem. And one day when we were in the garden, I saw him coming. I was shocked. And I asked God, what am I going to do? He has come. He's HIV positive. What am I going to do? God spoke to me very clear, with a clear sound, that you will never die because of AIDS. Don't refuse him. That's how now we stayed together. But it was so painful to open up to a man. You know the man is positive, you are negative, and you have to serve him. You have to give him his purpose as a woman. It was so painful to me. It wounded me so much.
Scientifiquement, découvrir que votre partenaire est séropositif alors que vous êtes séronégatif ne signifie pas la fin de votre relation. Ces relations sont parfois appelées sérodiscordantes. Mais quoi qu'il en soit, cette situation semble être difficile pour quiconque, même pour moi. Maintenant, Lydia devait être courageuse parce qu'elle allait affronter ces moments difficiles en plus d'être maltraitée par presque tout le monde, y compris sa famille.
I got sick completely now. I used to go a place called Orobrozat. Even the relatives didn't help me at all. Brothers and sisters, they didn't help me. Okay, my mother, they had my sister who was sick, my parents. But the other family, nobody stood the gap. Just only one man who used to take him to the hospital, but I used to look for transport. And he will take him to the hospital. Now, at that time he died, 1997. It was October 2nd. Now the worst stage which I went through, it is rejection. I used to go to market. People say this is the woman that the husband died because of AIDS. When I go to chamas, to the fellowships, to churches, I was rejected all over. And to make the matter worse, even the money which was raised, the time of burial, I was not given. It was given to my mother-in-law. That I will die, and my two firstborns will die, and the bigger ones will die because they were serving their father. It was so painful.
Quand elle avait besoin de réconfort à cause de la mort de son mari, personne ne se souciait d'elle, ni n'avait de compassion pour elle. Elle continuait à être témoin d'actes de cruauté.
If they give me a cup of tea, they will put it under the ash to wash with ash, because I'll surprise now with the HIV. But I had 3 women. One from an elder woman from just around Wagadogo. There is another one, Mama Kifugi. There is another one, Mama Wangeshi. They used to give us food, just only 3, the whole area. Things which came even from my mother. My mother, they were well up that time. So she came carried sugar, food. I didn't see even his bag. It was taken away. People used to come instead. In fact, the church of KAG, when they realized that I'm not given the things, now they used to come and direct everything to my house. That's the time I was left with something to give to my children.
Après la mort de son mari, ce n'était pas la fin, mais la vie allait être pire qu'elle ne l'avait imaginé.
After the death of my husband, now the things become worse, more than what I could think. I sent my second born to go and look for a wood, which can, a piece of, that I wanted to extend the kitchen so that when they will go for circumcision, they will get a place to stay. When my son went and came with 2 tibas like this, my brother-in-law, the firstborn, came. That man abused me. He was with panga. The 3 daughters were with the pangas, and whatever they had carried, they had carried their things to beat me.
Your sister-in-law?
Brother-in-law. And even the wife. When they came, I asked them, Wawero, you have come here with your wife and with your children. Will my husband come out of the grave and come and fight for me? And he told me, there is nothing I have in this family, and I must go. I'm the one who made their brothers to die.
Cette fois, ce qu'on lui a dit était très clair. Elle devait quitter sa famille et partir sans rien, même pas ses enfants. Elle n'avait aucun droit car on lui avait dit qu'elle n'avait rien dans leur famille.
My sister died and my husband died. So I came to Nairobi at Botera, and when I came there, I stayed with my sister's where she used to stay because she was a teacher. My blood mother chased me away 11 p.m.
Partout où elle allait, elle se battait sans cesse et quand elle sortait, personne ne pouvait croire qu'elle traversait une vie difficile, car il était impossible de voir cette image sur son visage.
I used to stay in the church, borrow somebody to give me 20 bob that I may take a cup of tea and one dazi. If the church is closed, I used to go to a hotel where they stay for 24. I just sat there and I stay with the watchman, seated where the watchmen are.
Lorsque vous êtes dans une situation comme celle-ci, de nombreuses personnes profitent de votre pauvreté, de vos problèmes et de vos faiblesses, et c'est ce qui est arrivé à Lydia.
One of the person who was called Kenyajui is no longer alive. He took advantage of what I was going through. He told me that in Kashia there are some houses where we can go and look, a house which I can get for 300 and 500, and it will be possible to pay. So I went. That time there was no phones. I'm speaking about 2000. When I went, the man dragged. He went inside. He dragged until, because it was a holiday, we didn't get a quick vehicle to come to town. When we come to town, already the church where I was sleeping, it was closed. So you could not get somewhere to sleep. The man told me, let me check for a room for you, you sleep. He checked for a room. I was a foolish that time. I didn't knew that I need to ask for receipt for the house. So he was left with the receipt. And I went, I slept. After past midnight, I heard somebody knocking. I said I don't want to open. But the watchman came and told me, you have to open. This house, it's not yours. There is somebody with a receipt. Oh, so I opened. When I opened to look, there was that time their dogs are cribbing the rooms. They want to go and count what they have stolen. So I was asking myself, what shall I do? In the lodging or those guest room, even if you scream, nobody can rescue. So the man took that advantage, and immediately I got pregnant. This is where I cried more than I have never cried. Because I asked God. I got married when I was not saved. And I was a virgin. Now I'm saved. And you have left me to be pregnant. I said I'll remove this pregnancy. God spoke to me very clear. Do not abort. And if you abort, I'll abort you.
Ensuite, cette fois, elle allait se retrouver sans aucun tuteur. Ils l'ont expulsée de l'église parce qu'elle était enceinte, ceux qui étaient déjà ses amis l'ont rejetée, et même celui qui l'avait mise enceinte n'avait rien pour l'aider.
I thank Apostle Jokayo. Jokayo took me like a child. He used to tell me, if you need to come to in my office, don't even knock unless there's somebody. Just come. I found that a shoulder to cry on at that particular time.
Non seulement cela, mais peut-être à ce moment-là, il semblait que la vie devenait un peu plus facile. Elle a décidé d'aller chercher ses enfants pour vivre avec eux, même si elle disait que c'était un combat parce qu'elle n'avait pas de lieu où vivre et ne pourrait pas leur fournir de la nourriture.
When I went back to pick my children, I said, let me die with my children. And I don't have a home, but I just decided to go and pick my children. We stay wherever God will let us stay. And my sister gave me 3,000 to go and circumcise that son. When I reached there, they called all of them. They abused me, everyone in this world. Every word you know, somebody can say. But God has already spoken to me and told me, don't speak anything now, because I was told to put water in my mouth. If you have water, there is nothing you can say. So me, they abused me. I didn't say anything, and I thank God because they have nothing to account me. And I came with my children. We struggled until we get a house, which used to pay 700 at Huruma. When I gave birth, I didn't have anything.
And that's now the last born.
The last born. But God sent people to stand in the gap. If I used to go and ask people to help me, nobody could help me. I worked with the Jabbo Biscuit, I worked with some companies, but when I go to those companies, they used to, at long last, they reject me.
Why?
Me, I don't know. I think it is the same rejection which I was going through. I think it is the same which was going even when I go to work.
Elle a traversé une vie très difficile et Dieu l'a protégée. Elle a vécu avec son mari qui souffrait du sida, mais elle n'a pas été infectée. Sa famille a essayé de mettre fin à sa vie, mais elle a survécu. Aujourd'hui, elle mène une vie triste avec ses enfants à cause de la maladie.
For where God has brought us now, because right now we can't say that we are passing through rejection. It's just only that now the diseases.
Now, tell us the situation now.
The diseases are too hot now to us. I have my third son who have been sick. Had been wounds in his leg, and they were too bad.
What is the cause?
I don't know. They told us it is infection in the blood.
The blood, okay.
Now he was given 2 expensive medicines, which he used to buy. Right now I need support of my health, because my health is poor. Walking is difficult. Even doing anything, so many things I can't do. I can't wash. I can't even kneel down to do some few things. I need a support of that MRI. It is 8,500. I need a support of endoscopy. And endoscopy now, it is emergency. It is on Friday, this Friday. If it is possible, I can. If I get 8,500, this house, it is not paid. I don't know whether tomorrow we'll be here. I don't know.
Vous pouvez aider cette mère via le lien qui se trouve dans la description et épinglé dans le premier commentaire. Toute aide contribuerait à changer la vie de ceux qui souffrent. C'est Afrimax Français. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner et d'activer les notifications.